Welcome and thank you for joining me again this morning. So for today's session, we'll have a little bit of guided meditation to start with, just a little bit of breath awareness. And then I'm going to take you through a progressive muscular relaxation exercise. It's also known as PMR. So this is where we will take our awareness through the body to various muscle groups. We will, it might sound a little bit strange if you haven't done it before, we'll create tension. So we'll tense up muscles and then we'll let them go. We'll release that tension very effortlessly. And as we work through, it's a great way to relieve tension in the body. So any single thought that you have, any particularly worries, any stresses, any anxieties that you experience in your mind will travel into your body. So you'll feel tense. It's impossible to think stressful thoughts and not feel stressed in your body. So the body will, if you like, house the emotion or the sensation of your thoughts. And muscles have memory, and muscles often hold on long after you have forgotten about what you were worried about or stressed about. Tension can be held in the body, stress can be held in the body, and that's cumulative and it builds up over time. And you can be walking around on a perfectly good day feeling quite tight and tense and not just at ease in yourself, even though your mind is clear. So this is a really nice way to, I suppose, to open the door to some of this, like a pressure cooker, those old-fashioned pressure cookers, if anyone's old enough to remember those, where it's like a release valve for tension. So if you start by either lying or sitting or some sort of position that's going to be comfortable for you, this isn't something you need to get into easy cross-legged or a meditation position for, and I'll be coming out with myself later on in the exercise. And just allow your body to settle. So just taking a moment or two to find your new position, familiarize yourself with wherever you are right now. You may be exactly where you started when you logged in, or you may have moved. And just seeing if you can take a moment or so to allow yourself to settle into this new space that you've set up for yourself for the next little while. Allowing the body just to start to rest and relax a little. And that's really just inviting a shifting from an attitude of doing to an attitude of non-doing. And allowing your awareness to start to settle on your breath as it comes and goes. So you can perhaps close your eyes if you're comfortable to do so. And if you prefer to have the eyes open, just have a gaze at a particular point on the wall, on the floor, on the ceiling. Nice soft gaze so that your attention isn't wandering around the room. Noticing the coming and the going of your breath. Relax your jaw, softening around the mouth, the lips, the tongue. Relaxing your cheeks and your forehead, relaxing the scalp. Allowing your shoulders to soften and relax and to drift away from the ears. Letting your legs be heavy. Letting the pelvic region, depending on how you're sitting and you're lying, the back of your pelvis or the seat of your bum, your sit bones resting. Letting the arms be heavy and relaxed. And again, remembering we can't force relaxation, we can't rush relaxation. And the word relax is an invitation to let go, to release effort, to release a sense of doing or activity in your body, in your mind. It's not an instruction, it's not a command. So allow yourself to settle a little more as the moments pass, little by little unfurling, little by little, almost having the attitude that you're back to bed, or you're going to just rest for the next little while. And we're planning to rest and release, to let go, so that when we move again, we'll be re-energized, feeling a little bit freer. Continue to notice the breath as it's coming and going. And just allow yourself to notice the movement in the body in response to the breath. So that familiar expansion on your inhalations as the body makes way for breath to move in. And release on your exhalation as the body lets go. Letting your awareness linger on the movement. And letting your awareness tune into the stillness between the breaths. So that gentle pause between each inhalation and exhalation before the next breath makes its way. And allow, as the moments pass, the breath to become a little longer and fuller, slower and deeper. If possible, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. But if you're congested, if you're hay feverish, or for any other reason that's not comfortable, allowing the breath to come and go through the mouth. Notice if your mind wandered, and if it has, that's normal, that's to be expected. Invite it back just to this coming and going of breath, tuning into the breath as it moves through you, moving in to nourish you, and moving back out to release, to detox, to make space for the returning in breath. So I'm going to invite you on a little trip through the body. And this is not like, it's not a body scan, it's not a yoga nidra rotation of consciousness where we move our awareness from part to part without actually moving that part of the body. This is an exercise where we're going to take our awareness to different parts of the body and different muscle groups, and we are going to move. So what I'm going to be inviting you to do is to create tension. And we're going to really exaggerate that tension. And when I say let it go, or all at once let it go, on an exhale let it go, I want you to imagine going from something like raw spaghetti when we're creating the tension, so really rigid, to cooked spaghetti when we release the tension. Or to imagine going from being something like a Barbie doll or an action man when we're creating tension to a rag doll when we release it. It's an absolute sudden instant release. So it's not like putting down a glass of water when we let go, it's like dropping a glass of water. So you might want to, just for the first time that we do it, first maybe one or two movements, you might wish to open your eyes and have a look at what I'm doing, just so you can see. And then when you've got that idea, maybe closing the eyes again. So we're going to start by bringing our awareness and our attention to our hands. And I just invite you to close the fingers and make a really tight fist. So if you've got long nails, just be careful about the palms, but otherwise make as tight a fist as you can, just the hands getting involved. So as much as possible, relaxing the arms, relaxing the belly, relaxing the rest of the body. Really, really, really clench these fists. Maybe hold the arms out slightly, clench the fists even further. And then On your next exhalation, all at once, just let go and let the hands release, let the hands flop. Stretch your fingers as wide apart as you can, really stretching the fingers so that there's full extension between them. They're as long as they can be, there's as much space between them, and that's bringing tension into the fingers and the hands. See, can you hold that for a little bit longer, maybe exaggerate it a little bit more, trying to keep the, excuse me, the arms as relaxed as possible. And then all at once, whenever you're ready, on an out breath, just let the hands go, let the hands flop back down and relax. Just have a nice full inhalation and exhalation and see how you feel there. Notice whatever you notice in terms of warmth, in terms of tingling. And on your next inhalation, just stretch the arms out in front of you. So if you're lying, lifting the arms a little away from the floor of the bed, make a fist again, but this time tense the arms and the hands all the way up to your shoulders, so that the length of your arms are really tense. Just be careful around your elbows. Hold it a little longer. Tense these hands as much as you can, so maybe even a quiver starts to come into the hands and the arms. Continue to breathe. Continue to keep your belly relaxed, your back relaxed. The rest of the body is not involved. And then all at once, on an exhalation, whenever you're ready, just let the hands release, let the arms flop, let those arms become ragdoll arms. And just notice the difference there between holding on and letting go. On your next inhalation, lifting the arms again, spreading the fingers nice and wide this time, and stretching through, activating the muscles in the arms all the way up to the shoulders. So you're tense from the tips of your fingers all the way up to the shoulders, really engaging the muscles around the biceps, really engaging muscles around your forearms, the hands, everything nice and tense, so that perhaps the arms even start to quiver a little bit. When you think that you've created as much tension as you can, see, can you exaggerate a little bit more? And then all at once, whenever you're ready, on an exhalation, just let go and let the arms flop back down. Remember, it's an instant letting go. It's not a controlled release. It's an instant release. Just notice in the arms and the hands there, seeing how you feel, and as much as possible now allowing the fingers, the hands, the arms to dissolve away from your awareness, from your mind's eye, to dissolve into relaxation. Bring your awareness to your face. Just notice how your face is feeling right now. And I invite you to scrunch up your face, make like a little old lady, a little old man face, purse the lips, bring the cheekbones a little bit closer to the center of the face, scrunch your nose, scrunch your forehead, really make the face as wrinkly here, as scrunchy as possible, a little prune face. And whenever you're ready, on an exhalation, just relax the muscles in the face. So we're going to do that again now that you know what you need to do, but this time we'll see if we can hold it a little longer whilst breathing. So see if you can take a breath or so whilst you have that prune face scrunched up, remembering no one can see you. Maybe I can see you, but nobody else can. So scrunching up the face, scrunching the forehead, scrunching the nose, pursing the lips. Really important to do this to relax tension in the face. Have a little breath. Nice full inhalation, and then on an exhalation, just let it go, let the face relax. Let all of the muscles start to release out. And now you're going to do the opposite. You're going to take your face and imagine that you're a lion mooring. You're going to make a big O with the mouth, big circle, taking each corner of the mouth or every area of the mouth as far apart as we can. And then stretching the forehead, easing the forehead out, trying to bring as much space between the eyebrows as possible. So really just stretching out the face here. And hold it, exaggerate it for as much as you can. Maybe wiggle your tongue around the back of the mouth, take in a couple of gulps of air. And then whenever you're ready on an exhalation, let that go. Let the face relax. Let yourself come back to rest. Just check, was there any yawning or anything coming in there to help with that release. Take your awareness to your forehead. And I just invite you for a moment to frown. Just frown and notice what that feels like in your forehead. And then release that by about 50%. So release that frown so it's about half of what it was when you started to create the frown. Notice what that feels like. And now release that by about 50%. So that you're still holding some tension in the forehead. So that, what tends to happen is if we frown at something in the morning, if we see something that we don't like, I don't know, on the floor, or we smell something that we don't like and we frown, if we're annoyed by something, then cross about something and we frown, the muscles in the forehead often don't fully relax tension. So release that tension fully now. And it's quite difficult to do. It's actually quite difficult to release the muscles in the forehead. So imagine trying to take the eyebrows as far apart as you can. So we often walk around with about 25% of the level of tension in the forehead as if we were frowning, or we've long forgotten what it was that we were irritated by. That's sending signals to your brain that you're stressed or you're upset, and your brain will respond by giving you little pumps of cortisol and stress hormones. So it's really important to check in regularly with your forehead, and your jaw also creates and holds a lot of tension. So relax the jaw now. And I want you to imagine something really lovely, maybe a place in nature, somebody that you're very fond of, who you're not missing at the moment, but who you're very fond of. And every time you see them, they bring up feelings of warmth and joy inside. Might be a small child, might be a pet. And I just want you to try and smile as you imagine this person, place, or very animal, whatever it might be in front of you. And for a couple of breaths as you inhale, literally inhale the energy of the smile through your body. If you want to have a little giggle there again, you're in your own home, you're welcome to do so. And then let that go. Just come back to more of a neutral place. And just see, how do you feel now? The difference between frowning and smiling is quite profound. And again, smiling, it releases endorphins and it releases dopamine and goes into oxytocin and all kinds of hormones that help to relax the body and tell us that we're safe and content and at ease. So as often, if you're finding you're having a day where it's difficult to smile because emotionally you're not connecting with a smile, even just creating the shape of the smile on your face, or having pictures on your phone or in the real world on your wall or somewhere that you can look at of things that will make you just smile for a moment. It's like a little bit of an injection there of relaxation juice for your body. So take your awareness now to your belly and to the muscles above and below the navel. If you're pregnant, just please don't engage too much with this one. You don't want to tense, or if you're just post any surgery, abdominal surgery, you might want to modify this or leave it out. I want you to imagine that you're trying to squeeze into a pair of jeans or a dress or some item of clothing, your bathing suit that we'll all be wearing soon. That's a size too small for you because it's shrunk in the wash, not any other reason. So hug in all of the muscles in your belly above and below the navel. Really tense those muscles above and below the navel. Relaxing the face, relaxing the arms, relaxing the chest. Just tensing all these muscles above and below the navel. Take a nice full inhalation. And on an exhalation, blow it out. Relax those muscles, let the belly fully expand. And again, just taking a moment there to notice the difference between holding on and letting go. Just take your breath back to a normal everyday breath. Checking that the arms are still relaxing, that your face is still relaxed, that you haven't tensed up any other muscles whilst we've been working on the belly. And because the abdomen is an area where a lot of people hold tension or feel anxiety, feel tension, We'll repeat that again. So you're squeezing into something that's shrunk or trying to get into a wetsuit. Really, really just hugging on all of those muscles above and below the navel as much as you can. And whilst you're putting on this item of clothing, it's shrinking again, and you're determined that you're going to get into it. So just see how much can you tense those muscles. And on the next exhalation, just let it go. Blow it out if you can with a sigh. Let the belly completely expand, completely relax. Relax your chest. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers, your face. And again, just notice the difference between holding on and letting go. And now bringing your awareness back around to the back of the body. And we'll work on, actually I've forgotten something really important. So we'll go back to the shoulders. Actually helps with the upper back as well. So on an inhalation, invite your shoulders up towards your ears. Bring them up as much as you can, almost hug them up. Now keeping the arms floppy and relaxed, but just tensing the shoulders as much as you need to facilitate this. And on an exhalation, just sigh out, release, and let go. And do that again on an inhalation, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. On an exhalation, sigh out and let go. On your next inhalation, bring the shoulders down towards the waist. So keeping the arms really floppy and relaxed. Just try to pull the shoulders as if you were bringing them down towards your waist. And on an exhalation, relax them. Inhaling, shoulders moving towards the waist. Exhaling, letting go. And then inhaling, bring the shoulder blades closer together at the back of the body. So it can help to roll the palms towards the ceiling. Bring the shoulder blades as if you were trying to tie a bow in the center of the back, inviting those shoulder blades to say hello, and as you exhale, release and let go. And then bring those shoulder blades back towards each other at the center of the back again as much as you can, so you're lengthening out the front body, and then exhale, just all at once, let it go. And then bring the shoulders towards each other at the front of the body, so just moving inwards towards the center line of your chest. When you exhale, release. And then bring shoulders on an inhalation a little towards the center of the chest. And on an exhale, and release there. So that looks after the shoulders, but also it looks after the chest, front and back. And the back of your chest really is your thoracic spine. We move our awareness down to our bum now, to our glutes. So it's very hard to isolate the muscles in your lower back. Even the middle back is quite tricky. But the glutes, actually, you hold a lot of tension for your lower back in the top of your glutes in particular. And this can be a way to help to resolve some of that. Your glutes are also, your bum muscles are also, it's the biggest muscle group in the body. So again, you're squeezing into something that's a little bit too tight or way too tight. Now you start to squeeze and tighten the muscles in your bum, so tightening your glutes as much as you can. Now, as much as you can, keep the legs relaxed. So they'll engage to a certain extent, but our focus here is on the glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as much as you can. Exaggerating a little further, see what's happening. Is there any quivering? What's the sensation like? And on an exhalation, whenever you're ready, just let go. And let those muscles completely release out. Again, notice the difference between holding on and letting go. And then we'll repeat that again, because it's a large muscle group and tension in the back can be stored here. So really tightening up those glutes, really tightening up the muscles in the bum. And whenever you're ready, letting go. And just noticing the letting go. And where you'll notice more of a sense of release in the parts of the body where you tend to hold your tension than perhaps parts that you don't so much. So move your awareness now down to your legs. And just start by tensing the muscles in the legs as much as you can. So try not to lock your knees. Try to be gentle around the knees with this, but tensing up the muscles in the thighs, front and back, in the calves, front and back, and maybe having your feet kind of flexed as if you were wearing shoes or even high heels. Keep the rest of the body relaxed. So everything above the hips is relaxing. All of the awareness is on the legs and tightening these muscles here. Tighten, 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 squeeze, 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 and on an exhale, just let it go. Let those muscles completely relax and let the legs roll out in any way they want. Notice the difference there between holding on and letting go. We'll do that again. So flex your feet. So tensing up the thighs, front and back. Excuse me, I'm a bit froggy this morning. The calves, the shins. Tensing, tensing, tensing. And even tensing the feet here. Hold it, see, can you exaggerate it a little bit more? And all of a sudden, in an exhale or with an exhale, just let it go. Tip the toes away from you to lengthen the front of the legs and maybe lift the feet about an inch or so, either from the floor or your bed or wherever they're resting as you tip away here. And notice that activates particularly the front of your thighs and the shins. And then all at once on an exhalation, just let it go. Again, noticing the difference between letting on and holding go. Oh my goodness, holding on and letting go. So tip your heels away from you now, bring the toes back towards the chest. And notice if you lift your feet about an inch or so from the floor again, you'll notice the backs of the legs engaging a little bit more here, fronts of the thighs also, but backs of the legs, calves and backs of the thighs. See, can you hold that for a moment longer? Maybe squeeze in and exaggerate the tension a little bit more. And then all at once, just let it go. Let the legs relax, let the muscles completely release out. Notice the difference between holding on and letting go. Notice how you might be feeling in your body right now. So take a moment just to scan the body. So we worked with the hands, the fingers, the arms, the shoulders. Where there was opposite muscles, we worked with both. So with the hands, for example, we stretched the fingers out and then we clenched them into fists. Same when we've activated the arms and the hands together. The shoulders, we brought them up towards the ears and then down towards the waist. So working on both sides of those opposite muscles. And then we brought them shoulders back towards the center of the back and forwards. You worked on scrunching your face, prune face, little old person face. And then the big lion's roar, big wide open face to release tension in the facial muscles. We tightened the muscles in the abdomen and released them. We went round to the back of the body to the glutes, tightening and releasing, tensing and releasing. And then the legs. So the whole legs together with flexed feet and then tipping the feet away, forwards, tensing and releasing, and toes back towards your chest, tensing and releasing. So whichever one of those little parts of the sequence, so muscle groups, gave you the greatest sense of letting go back to that part of the body now and just repeat that yourself. So all you need to do is create tension, exaggerate it as much as you can. And when you can't hold it any longer or you feel ready, on an exhalation, just let that part of the body relax fully, flop, go floppy. Find your ragdoll, inner ragdoll. Maybe repeating that once or twice. If there were muscles that had the opposite, where the muscles work maybe in symbiotic pairs, working in two directions, like the shoulders going up and down or backwards and forwards, or hands stretching and tensing, repeat both sides. So pay attention to both sides of those muscle groups. And then let that go. And whichever area of the body that you tensed and released that gave you the least sense of release, go back and just try that one more time. And the reason for that is that if you're not feeling anything in sense of release, it can be for two reasons. One is that you're not holding tension in that part of the body, so there's nothing to release. The other is that you're holding deep tension and it's resistant, it's stubborn. So sometimes what you'll start to notice when you practice this exercise regularly is something that didn't used to respond suddenly starts to feel like, oh, that seemed to really like that today. And that's just about deep held tension being released. And then we're going to take a nice big full body stretch. So As you inhale, whether you're lying or sitting, lengthen your arms up towards the ceiling, tipping your toes away, stretching your legs if you can, or lift them slightly off the floor if that helps. And as you exhale, let's just flop. Let's just become ragdoll. So just release everything back down again. Notice the difference between holding on and letting go. Maybe take the arms out to the side of the body towards maybe like and the legs out to the side, almost like a starfish kind of shape. Stretch through the fingers, stretch through the feet, stretch through everything as much as you can. And on an exhale, just let everything go and become ragdolly and floppy again. Maybe interlace the hands and roll the palms forwards. Really push through those hands. And then as you exhale, just let go. And this time with a little bit more control, release the hands to the body. If you're lying, or if you're lying, I just invite you to bring both of your knees to your chest, holding onto your shins and hug them in nice and tight there and have a little roll from side to side. If you're sitting, you might want to do that with one leg at a time. So bringing your right thigh to your chest, hugging that in and then letting it go, and taking the left thigh in, hug in on an exhalation, because it just helps to create space there. You're not fighting for space with the belly that's holding breath if you're exhaling. And then have any kind of stretch that feels nice. Any kind of waking up stretches, wiggling the fingers and toes, stretching into the joints, stretching into the arms, relaxing the face, whatever might feel nice. And either stay where you are and relax for a little bit longer, or in your own time, just make your way back into the room. Have a stretch, have a yawn. And if you were to practice that 2 or 3 times a week, is recommended for about 20 minutes. Now, you wouldn't necessarily need to do the meditation at the beginning, but over time, within about 3 weeks, that has very significant benefits in reducing blood pressure, slowing down your heart rate, really helpful in reversing the effects of stress for the cardiovascular system, for the reproductive organs. This is all clinically, it's one of the exercises that's used a lot in clinical settings, so really beneficial. But if there was one part where you just felt you found a lot of release, the hands, the arms, or whatever, you could just do that as you move through your day to let go of a little bit of tension. So a different form of practice this morning, a different form of meditation, but hopefully you'll find as you move into your day, you're a little bit lighter, a little bit freer, and you may have released some tension you might not even have known you were holding. So thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for your time, thanks for your practice, and have a lovely day. And hopefully I'll see you back again soon. Namaste. Thank you. Take care and stay safe.